Bernard Hopkins versus Sergey Kovalev. First things first, hands up, I got this one wrong. I said it was an impossible fight to call with any certainty, but if I had to pick one, I'd pick Bernard Hopkins, and that was clearly the wrong decision. I think we have to start by crediting Bernard Hopkins for making it the distance and for continuing his career without ever being knocked out. I think we can safely say that it's almost an impossibility to knock Bernard Hopkins out after he went the distance with Sergey Kovalev. I think the judges, two of them gave it 120-107, one of them gave it 120-106, which truly reflects the dominance of Sergey Kovalev in this fight. We know Sergey Kovalev is a big puncher. We know he hits very, very hard. We knew that from the Nathan Cleverly fight. That was reminded to us brutally by a first round knockdown of Bernard Hopkins. Bernard didn't look overly hurt. It didn't look like the fight was going to end. But make no mistake, that was a genuine knockdown. It wasn't a slip. Kovalev caught Hopkins, and there were a number of times in the fight Kovalev looked like he hurt Hopkins. We know he was a puncher though. This isn't news, this isn't a surprise. We also know Hopkins can be dropped early in a fight, as we saw against John Pascal. But what I think impressed me most about this performance was Kovalev's boxing. It's safe to say that not only did Kovalev outstrength, overpower Bernard Hopkins, but he also comprehensively outboxed him. He was first to the punch. He nullified Hopkins' work, and he landed the cleaner shots. Kovalev was good at the inside, not purely with his own inside work, but his ability to stop Hopkins from getting on the inside, to stop Hopkins from being effective on the inside. Kovalev also controlled the fight from range. He was able to fight on the back foot when Hopkins was coming forward. He was able to use sort of outside boxing, was able to quell Hopkins' inside game. And it really was a very, very good all-round performance from Kovalev. He's shown a sort of real high level to box, but at the same time having that power punching risk that will surely be a factor against all opponents whose name is not Bernard Hopkins. A mightily impressive performance. I mean, we've seen people beat Hopkins before. We've seen, the likes of Joe Kazagi, Chad Dawson, the list goes on, Jermaine Taylor. We've also seen people, be effective against Hopkins in close fights, such as John Pascal. But we have never seen an opponent dominate like Kovalev did against Bernard Hopkins. And the fact that Bernard Hopkins is 50 years old shouldn't necessarily mean that it's less of an achievement for Kovalev. Because Hopkins has been performing at a very, very world-class, even pound-for-pound level, some would say, as recently as the last year or two. So, for me, mightily impressive performance by Kovalev. After this win, he goes well to the top of the light heavyweight division in my eyes. He is clearly the number one man in the division. I'd rank him much higher than Adonis Stevenson. I believe this piece of form against Hopkins is stronger form than the Adonis Stevenson win against Chad Dawson. Surely that is a fight that needs to be happening now. I know Jürgen Bremer's got some sort of version of the title, but let's be realistic. These are the two real champions of the division, and it would be great to see these two square off and these two to get it on. I think after this performance, my money would be on Kovalev all night. But in terms of fights out there for Kovalev, I know people are talking about Artur Beterbiev. In my eyes, it's still too early in his pro career for that fight to be made just yet, although I acknowledge that's a big fight, maybe in 12-18 months' time. If he can sort out a fight with Adonis Stevenson, that's the main name in the light heavyweight division. Obviously, people are already talking fights against Andre Ward, Golovkin. To my eyes, Golovkin's a middleweight who should perhaps be considering light middleweight. Andre Ward is a dominant super middleweight, pound for pound number 2. He shouldn't have to consider fighting outside of his weight division. and Kovalev is a very, very big light heavyweight. So I think Kovalev should stick to light heavyweight, be strict on that. I'd say Adonis Stevenson, maybe Beterbiev in 12 months' time. If those two fights can happen inside the next year, then, you know, what a great period it would be for boxing. But Sergey Kovalev goes very much to the top of the light heavyweight rankings for me. A real excellent opponent. I'm going to do a video on the future for Bernard Hopkins, so if that's of interest, please do take a look at my channel and you'll see that updated. I'm interested to hear people's thoughts on this fight. How impressed were you by Sergey Kovalev? Do you see any weaknesses in his game? I know there was some suggestion he got caught quite badly in the 12th. Obviously we know Hopkins isn't too much of a knockout puncher. Would somebody with a bit more snap in their punch like an Adonis Stevenson, could they expose that? How do you see that Stevenson-Kovalev fight going? Interested to hear people's thoughts in general on Kovalev and the light heavyweight division. Also on Beterbiev, do you fancy him? My pick in the light heavyweight division is a guy called Eleider Alvarez. Love to see that fight at some time as well. So I'm interested to hear thoughts on any of those guys, on the mix of light heavyweight and on this fight. Thanks very much for watching.